Hey Adventures, today is our February wrap-up, and let's get going. This month I read 6 books, 2 of which were little short middle grade, 3 of them technically, but 2 of them were little short middle grades in Spanish, so I put them on there because I read the entire story, but they don't really count in some ways because they were for school. So, the first book that I finished in February was North or Be Eaten by Andrew Peterson. This is book 2 of the Wingfeather Saga. I read the first book, which is On the Edge of the Dark Sea of Darkness, in January, and I didn't love the first book. I didn't hate it. It was fine. But the second book I enjoyed a lot more.
So the first book I read in February is also the first book that I DNF'd, and that's the Icebound Land, the only book I DNF'd this month, which is Icebound Land by John Flanagan. This is book 3 in the Rangers Apprentice series, and it bored me to death. And I know that there's some people who really love Ranger's Apprentice, but I couldn't do it this time. I'm gonna give the audiobook a try, and if I like it, then I'll continue, but if not, I'll probably stop the series here.
The next book that I read in February was Salamandastron by Brian Jakes. I did a book review video for this specific book, and I will have it linked up in the corner for you if you want to watch it. This series, I absolutely love this series. It's one of my favorite series of all time and top favorite authors of all time, probably top 3 authors.
So the second book I completed the first book I completed, because the first was a DNF, is 1984 by George Orwell. This is a dystopian, technically, I think is a proper genre. And yeah, I think I would give this, I didn't read this with as analytical of a perspective as I do with a lot of books. I read this just for the point of the book, which is to give an idea of what a dystopian world could look like. So yeah, it is a very enjoyable read, and I would recommend it to adults.
It's a nice addition.
It is a nice addition.
I like the cover. Next book I read, or rather listened to, is a young adult, or middle grade I guess, is a middle grade book, How to Train Your Dragon by Cressida Cowell, is who translated it from Old Norse. I really enjoyed this book. If you know me very well, you know that I love dragons, and so I couldn't dislike this book.
So the last book I finished in February is Comes a Horseman by Robert Lebrullo. This is a thriller mystery, and I don't know how I feel about it. I really want to plug it into our elements of story and book rating and see how many stars I would give it, because I struggled through this book. But yeah, it had some really interesting qualities, and that's why I'm so torn about whether I actually liked it. In the moment, I didn't like it. In retrospect, there were some really cool things about it. So
the last book that I read in February was Mariel of Redwall by Brian Jakes. Again, this is one of the books in the Redwall series. Like with Salamandastron, I will have a book review for this and The Bellmaker, which is a direct sequel, coming soon. I don't know how soon, but it's coming. This one, there's a lot of things I really enjoy about this specific story. Largely the characters, honestly. The characters are super interesting, super fun to follow, and it's just cool to see how the characters grow and develop through this book.
So that's our update for you all. It was a pretty slow month for me, a little bit speedier for Tony, so we hope you enjoyed it. Let us know your February wrap-up in the comments down below.
Thanks for watching. We will see you guys next time. Stay warm.